Hey everyone, happy Friday. Welcome to the video. Welcome to Post to Post. Thanks for joining me today. My name is Neil if you're new, and if you are new, would love to have you join the family here and hit the subscribe button down below. Today we're looking at jersey concepts from the very famous Chris Wilson on Twitter. It's at BEAVIWI89, and if you guys know Chris, then you know that he's a pretty creative guy, so I'm really looking forward to seeing his jersey concepts. I don't think I featured him on the channel before, but I know he's very talented artist, so this is going to be a very good video, I think, as far as designs go. I'm pretty excited for it. Now, if you guys want to come up with your own concepts, you can go to sportstemplates.net, get that template over there, and then save yourself 10% by using code POST2POST. They've got this jersey template on there. They've got goalie helmet template. They've got puck templates. They've got so many incredible templates over there, over 60 and maybe even over 70 templates on the site, branches outside of hockey as well. We're talking football, soccer, baseball, all kinds of incredible templates on that site. And if you want to get one of those templates and come up with 31, 32 concepts of whatever template and from whatever league, whether it's NFL, MLB, NHL, it doesn't really matter, and send it into the channel. I will review it, react to it, and just kind of have a conversation about your designs, about your creativity, and just have some fun, right? Lighthearted content and looking at some pretty stuff. So let's do that right now. Let's jump into Chris's concepts here, and I've not seen these, by the way. This is a reaction video. You and I are going to be looking at these for the very first time. We're going to start off with Anaheim. This is an alphabetical abbreviation, or alphabetical by abbreviation. Let's go. Anaheim's number one. Oh, wow. Okay, really good start here. The first thing I noticed was the shade of orange looks maybe incorrect. It could just be maybe my monitor or maybe the lighting, but it looks maybe slightly desaturated almost. But other than, I'm being really nitpicky there, but other than that, I quite like the arms and the shoulders and the way that little that purple line is kind of implemented there as a pinstripe, but pulled from the logo. I would say that I don't necessarily like the bottom of the middle of the jersey, the bottom section where it's orange and then it's got got the slanted stripes that kind of go up. I would probably remove that entire section and just keep that green coming down, or the teal, whatever you want to call that. But yeah, if you remove that man, that's a sharp jersey. Number two, Arizona. Yes, look at that staged gradient. Oh, I really like that, just from the sense that if you've ever been in Arizona and you've seen any sunsets in Arizona, you know they are some of the best sunsets you've ever seen in your life. That is replicated a little bit here in the stage gradient along the bottom. It also is kind of represented a little bit in their state flag, which you can kind of see also represented in the shoulder patch up there. But this gives me classic vibes, like late 70s, early 80s. There's some camper or van or Toyota truck vibes going on with the staged gradient. I really like that a lot, and this could absolutely work in the NHL. Very, very nice concept here. Boston's next. I see that brown, and I have to say nay. I'm going to pass on this one based on the brown. Never have been really a fan of Boston concepts using brown. And I think the yellow looks slightly too light as well for Boston. Again, maybe there's something wrong with my monitor, but doesn't quite look right. So if that was black instead of brown, I'd probably like this one a lot more. Buffalo. Oh, interesting. So this is very close to the reverse retro, but inverse to be dark. I love the arms. That reminds me of Pittsburgh a little bit. You got the Buffalo text along the bottom like there is on the reverse retro. The proper primary logo in the middle, the goat head, and that lovely secondary logo that they use on the shoulder. So this is a really, really nice goat head classic style jersey, but in the new colors. So this gets a big thumbs up from me. Next is Carolina. Oh, look at the texture in the bottom. Okay. Think about the Carolina brand and what a hurricane is. It's a giant storm that rotates, and you can see the rotation in this jersey. You can see that form factor. The outside of the hurricane is round typically, and that is represented in the flow of the jersey from the arm coming down through the middle and then back out the other side with some of that wind texture. I know wind doesn't really have texture, but you understand what I mean. How we represent wind in art is usually by streaks, because that's sometimes represented by rain, I guess. So this has symbolism, subtle symbolism, but that also works as just regular striping and designed within a jersey. So I like that a lot. That was very clever. I don't know how I feel about those shoulder patches being kind of desaturated like that. I think it works in the stealth jersey. I think I would prefer to see like the that full blown regular actual logo, fully colorized in, no transparency whatsoever, no fading, just boom, give it to me. I like the alternate logo as the primary here. This is some very nice concept. Columbus is next. Look at it. You got that neon green in there. I would love for them to kind of implement that. It would be such a cool, like, modern style alternate jersey. I like the star on the bottom of the arms. They use that a little bit in their reverse retro. The chevrons on the arms here. Now that's in a bending point of the arms, so that must be screen printed probably. I don't think that could be something that would be stitched on there. This is great. It's a little cartoony. It's a little funny. I'm not sure how Columbus fans would actually feel about this one, but it's so different that I personally like it a lot. Okay, next is Calgary. Oh, this is the two-tone jersey. This is the Edmonton two-tone jersey, except for the Calgary edition, and it totally works. And this kind of, it's not blasty, but you kind of get those vibes a little bit. So it does match the brand slightly. If you took the Calgary logo off and you took the shoulder patches, and then put a New Jersey Devils logo in the middle, this would also make a very good two-toned New Jersey Devils logo. Obviously, the A would change as well because that's based on the Atlanta Flames. But this is very nice. This is one of the best two-tone Calgary jersey concepts, probably the best one that I've ever seen. Well, job, Chris. Next is Chicago. A more modern take on the logo. I think I've seen that before, so I assume you pulled that from somewhere online. Or if it's not identical, I've definitely seen a kind of a similar version of that. I like the stripes on the arms a lot. I love the shoulder patches. I love the fact that you went with black as the primary color. I like the primary logo that you've chosen, but I don't think the stripes work in the background in the middle of the jersey behind that big primary logo. I find the logo itself is so intricate and detailed. I think the striping in behind just detracts from it, so I would probably remove those 3 stripes from behind, but keep them on the arm for sure. Colorado. If you think about the home and the way, let's just consider, for example, that this is an alternate jersey. And I'm not even sure his intentions with these jerseys. I can't remember if these were supposed to be home or alternate or what. Maybe I'll put that in the title if I look back and see what he said. But if you think about their branding, home and away, and the design of their jersey, how it kind of has this pattern that kind of comes up the arm and kind of some angles and stuff. And then you look at this, and it's an exaggerated representation of that as in this jersey, but splitting the jersey. So it does match their brand. It feels modern, but respectful of the past at the same time because of that little Pac-Man logo. And I know a lot of people hate it, but I really like it. And then the actual logo on the shoulders. And yeah, this is a very strong concept. Chris, I'm liking it so far, buddy. Dallas is next. Ooh, look at that fine detail striping on the front of the shoulder right here. Very similar, well, not really very similar, is slightly similar to the New York Rangers away jersey, how they have some kind of colored striping on the front. But what he's done here on the I guess technically left side of the neck, or our right as we're looking at it, he's kind of represented the Texas state flag in there, but not using the colors, just kind of the design. He's got the star on there. That is a nice addition. I would say nay, though, to the half striping going on the left side of the jersey, or our right. I don't necessarily like that. I think it makes the jersey unbalanced, especially when you have the collar on that side being different than the other collar. It feels very right-weighted. So I would remove that. Keep the collar as it is. That is lovely. Remove it in the middle of the jersey, and then the kind of the shape that we're used to a little bit with those jerseys that we so desperately want to come back on the bottom. So very good, Chris. Detroit is next. Ooh, almost. Wow, ironically, I have his jersey right next to me because I was going to wear it in my next video. Very close to the Toronto Arenas style arms here. And Toronto can pull it off because they're original 6 team. And looking at the Detroit Red Wings here, obviously they are an original 6 team too. So I think that absolutely works. I like the shoulder patches on the shoulder, although it should be noted that Detroit never really uses shoulder patches on any jersey basically in their history, other than in 2000. 17, I think they had a couple of patches on their jerseys. But for brand consistency's sake, I would say this jersey would be better without the shoulder patches. The C is on the right side. Nice little design in there housing it. I think, much like the Chicago jersey, I would prefer this to not have any striping or backing in behind the logo. I think it gets lost just slightly. And I know it's difficult because you've got a red logo going on, or a red D going on a red jersey, so it's going to get lost without that backing striping. But I think it would either need to be solid or not there. I think having the lines in it just makes it a little bit too busy. Next is Edmonton. I like the cog. A lot of people don't. I've always liked it because I kind of grew up a little bit watching Edmonton in their cog years. That is a weird sentence to say, but the rusty, desaturated brown kind of color, I think we could probably move away from. If that was maybe orange instead of that rusty brown, it would look better. I think going back to this color scheme would be a little bit too different for their brand. I think if they had this jersey with the bright orange, it could still kind of work with their brand a little bit better, but perfect other than the rusty color. Florida. That is wild. Not Minnesota Wild, Florida Panthers. The state flag being represented in the middle of the jersey, so it extends onto the arms and the bottom of that shape, which I like, but I think it doesn't work in the middle. It looks too much like, almost like he's wearing like a tube top or like a bra or something in the middle. And that's like, the symbol is kind of like a big giant belt buckle. It's kind of holding the boobs in place, if you know what I'm saying. A little low, but I think you get what I'm saying. So I don't personally think this works, but I like the rest of the jersey. I think maybe just removing that from the background in the middle, it would be a lot better. LA, the Burger King logo, that shoulder patch, or that logo on the shoulder, looks so good backed in white. Can you imagine if we got a white version of the reverse retro? Whew, that would look so good. And some texture as well in the striping on the bottom end and the arms. I think this jersey has promise. I do not like the primary logo. I love the shoulder patch logo, so I probably would remove the texture as well. But pretty good attempt. Minnesota. Oh, okay. So we got more yellow than usual in there, and the texture of the trees, which that can happen for sure. The logo, the primary logo there, looks very good. I don't necessarily miss that bear logo because we get it on the shoulders here in this concept. So I think the M is okay in the middle. I'm just worried about the numbers being yellow, if they should be white instead. There's not much white going on. I don't know. I gotta think about this one. Either way, I like the jersey. Montreal Canadiens. Whoa, that is pretty bold. Oh, okay. Hold on. Now I'll say that I don't like this jersey. Sorry, Chris, but big but. I'm a jersey collector, and I don't always have to love it or even like a jersey to want to collect it. Think about some of the most sought after jerseys in the jersey collecting community. Those are, I mean, most of the time they're very nice, but sometimes they're very ugly. And people collect them just to collect them because they're kind of a unicorn. No one really wants them. And then they kind of go out of date and they're hard to get. And then everyone wants them because they're ugly and because they'll likely never be made again. I kind of see this as one of those jerseys, kind of like the Montreal Canadiens barber pole jersey. Everyone hated that when they came out with that in 2008 or 9 or 10 or whenever it was, but now everyone wants it, including myself. So I see this kind of being like that, and for one specific reason. It's not really the crazy, split red to blue with some lines going diagonal in the middle. It's not really that. It's the different colored numbers. What is the last jersey that you've ever seen that uses different colored numbers on the arms? Can't tell you one. I'm not aware of one. So from a jersey collector's standpoint, to have a jersey that would have 2 different colored numbers on the arm would be very cool. So just for the sake of that, I'm going to give this one a thumbs up. New Jersey is next. After seeing that Calgary two-tone one, I was like, man, this could probably work for New Jersey as well, but I think this isn't bad. I kind of grimaced there at the beginning, but this isn't bad. I'm just I'm very high in that Calgary one, so I kind of want to see a New Jersey Devils version of that Calgary one. But this one's, I would say, kind of average. Nashville. Oh, look at that. What would that elbow section be? That pick, that alternate logo. There's no way that could be a stitched big giant patch. That would definitely need to be screen printed. But how would that affect the striping? It would. Interesting. Conceptually, looks very good. I often think about how things would be actually physically produced. I don't know. That's a tricky one. I like the jersey. I do definitely like the jersey. It's better than their current home jersey for sure. The Islanders are next. Oh, this is nice. I don't think Islanders fans are gonna like this because of the fishermen, but I love the shapes. It's kind of like the Pittsburgh Penguins jersey, the arm specifically here, but he's added a bit of angle, a bit of motion to the striping, which comes from, I don't know, waves, and you can see that at the bottom as well. So that is very nice. This is definitely one of the, like, low key, one of the best Islanders concepts I've seen. I don't think Islanders fans are gonna like this one. The Rangers. Man, the bottom of it kind of, I like the entire thing. I think this, well, not the entire thing, except I'm going to make an exception. I like the entire thing. It's better than the reverse retro that came out, other than the bottom of the middle of the jersey. That kind of it goes down, and then there's a big giant dip in the middle. That's like a big arrow. It's like, look at my crotch. That's I don't like that kind of shape down there. That's a very tricky spot to kind of put an arrow pointing down. I know it's not an arrow, but at the same time it kind of is. So I would probably just keep that striping just going flat and not put that little sharp dip in there. Other than that, I really like this. Ottawa. That's busy. I mean, we've seen concepts like this. We've even seen jerseys similar to this in their history. But I think the white stripe just makes it so distracting. But maybe that's what you want. I mentioned the Canadiens barber pole jersey earlier. This is kind of like that a little bit. So, realistically, it probably could work in the NHL. Ottawa could definitely get away with this one. Philadelphia. Now this is weighted very interesting. It feels like the wrong orange. Again, maybe it's my monitor. It feels like it's too desaturated maybe. I don't know how I feel about this. I'm kind of on the fence with this one. I'm going to leave it up to you guys. Let me know down below in the comment section what do you think about this one. Pittsburgh. Whoa. Again, I think the wrong shade of yellow. It's almost like you're approaching a little, just a slight shade of green getting in there. I don't really see it at the bottom, but at the top, maybe 5%, a bit of green in there. It's almost neon yellow in a way. This is... the shoulder design is very modern and progressive as far as the jersey goes. The bottom striping feels like... I think there's a team in the OHL. Is it the Frontenacs or something? I can't remember. But I believe they've used a jersey similar with kind of like back-to-back striping of black, yellow, and white. Reminds me of that slightly... I don't know how I feel about this one. The gray is cool though. I don't mind the gray. I'm wondering if it would look better with black. The shoulders are very interesting. I would kind of like to see the shoulders stay, and maybe the rest have a new concept for the bottom or the rest of it. The bottom feels very traditional, and the top feels very modern. So it's a bit conflicting as far as a brand. Seattle. Oh snap! That's what I'm talking about. You got the gradient, that works for Seattle. You got the texture in there in one of the striping of a Kraken, that definitely works. The only thing that I will mention is probably the numbers. It is unlikely that they would be that dark. They would probably be in the lighter blue or white. But this is a fine jersey, probably alternate. And maybe these are all supposed to be alternates, I'm not sure. But that is a nice concept. San Jose. Oh, man, I instantly love this jersey. This is very 90s, and there's not even anything specifically that screams 90s at me. I don't know why I get those vibes. I just do. I like this a lot, Chris. Like a lot. This is one of the best San Jose concepts I've seen. I really like it, and typically I don't like big solid collars like this one has one like this, but it's balanced because of the big black swatches on the arms here. But there's nothing there to balance that. But without even any reason, it just works for me. Maybe it's how big these shoulder patches is, so I get that other bit of splash of white to kind of balance it. But yeah, this is nice. Next up, St. Louis Blues. Wrong shade of blue. So I'm thinking now that it's not my monitor. Maybe it's a bit of not necessarily a mistake, but it feels way too desaturated, that blue, way too light. The yellow feels a bit wrong as well. I don't hate it, but it's definitely not my favorite Blues concept, that's for sure. Tampa Bay Lightning. Ooh, going with a completely different color, throwing in some like teal in here with the blue. What is that team? Is it the Syracuse Crunch that uses, or is it the Orlando Solar Bears? I think the Solar Bears have an alternate jersey, or maybe a different jersey that kind of uses these two colors together. I could be wrong. It's been so long since I've looked at their jerseys. Wow, this is good. I actually really like this. This does make sense for their brand. This is refreshing. This is a really refreshing concept to see from Tampa, or for Tampa rather. Very good job. I like this one a lot. The Maple Leafs. Hey, look, I showed it earlier. I'll show it again. The T works for them. That's part of their brand. These shoulders are lovely. I really like that a lot. It reminds me of the reverse retro, and that is the logo that I'm used to growing up with in the mid-90s. So I like that. I prefer that style of logo. The middle logo has been changed slightly, and regardless of the T, it's been changed slightly. I like that better. And yeah, this is a very plausible design for Toronto. Vancouver. Hello. The V. See, I see M. See what comes up on the arm, and that sneaks under, and then goes back down, it comes back up, and then sneaks under the arm, goes down. I definitely see an M in there. So I'm probably going to say no on this one, just based on that. Very busy. I'd probably remove this whole striping section a little bit and just kind of leave it the rest. Vegas Golden Knights. Difficult when designers are doing gold jerseys like this. It's very difficult to replicate that gold fleck, or that gold shine or fleck, whatever. So it's hard to visually understand what this jersey would actually look like, but I'm assuming Chris would want them to have that gold fleck in this. But right now it just looks too muddy. So I think this has promise, but I'd like to see this kind of redone in their proper fleck. Winnipeg. Ooh. Wow, it almost feels like the jersey is underneath, and it's blue and it's gray and it's white, and then this kind of like big tapestry is kind of put over just the arms and runs down the arms on both sides. It's like it's not even part of the jersey. It's like overhanging the jersey in a way. But it does match their brand a little bit with the home and the away. That alternate logo, which I typically don't like, looks very good on the shoulders in red. It looks outstanding, actually. But there's a lot of conflict here between the red and the blue in the middle. It doesn't feel like a solid relationship between the two. They're I think, too contrasty. So I'd probably pass on this, but I love the shoulders. And then last is Washington. Hey, this looks exactly like something Washington would use. I know a lot of people want that alternate logo back on the front of the jersey. The stars on there work. The striping works. The shoulder patch works. I love these stripes on the front of the shoulder. That is the best. Stripes are maybe a little bit too big on the bottom of the jersey and the arms, but they do work, like I said. So very strong concept. Okay, give me a minute. I'm going to go back through and pick my favorite. All right, I've narrowed it down to 3. In the top 3, or in no particular order, San Jose, and then what was the other one? Carolina and Arizona. Those are probably my favorite 3. The Islanders were kind of there as well. But I think I'm going to go with the Carolina one, just based on the really smart play by Chris here to kind of not only include striping, but smart striping, and it just like, it means more than just striping. Like, you can see the flow of the hurricane, and it looks good, just generally looks good. The shoulders are the only thing that I would change about it. So Carolina is one of those teams that already use a bit of texture in that alternate jersey, right, in the striping, and I think it's the red stripe maybe that has the texture. So they're already kind of doing that, putting texture on things, screen printed texture. So they can do it again. So I think this is not only well designed, but very plausible for the Carolina Hurricanes. So Chris, well done. These were definitely some of the best concepts I've ever seen. Thank you so much for sending them in. I really appreciate you. Guys, I would love it if you could leave your comments down below. Tell me which one you liked the best. Give Chris some feedback. And yeah, have a great start to your weekend, guys. I really appreciate you stopping by and checking this video out. Would love it if you could hit the subscribe button. And more importantly, hit the like button. That helps me a lot. Have a great weekend, and I'll talk to you soon. Adios.